Vimana Shikaradyubihi. Synonyms: Chuta Pallava with mango leaves, Vasaha cloth, Shrak flower garlands, Mukta Dama strings of pearls, Vilambivihi hanging, Upaskritam decorated, Pratidwaram at every gate, a palm full of water, Kumbeihi with water pots, Sadipakaihi with burning lamps. Prakarehi with surrounding walls, Gopura city's gates, Agarehi with houses, Shatakumbha golden, Parichadehi with ornamental work, Sarvataha on all sides, Alankritam decorated, Srimat valuable, valuable, beautiful, Vimana airplanes, Shikara domes, Dyubihi glittering. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation: At each and every gate, there were burning lamps and big water pots decorated with differently colored cloth, strings of pearls, flower garlands, and hanging mango leaves. Translation for verse 56. In the capital city, there were many palaces, city gates, and surrounding walls, which were already very, very beautiful. And on this occasion, all of them were decorated with golden ornaments. The domes of the city palaces glittered, as did the domes of the beautiful airplanes which hovered over the city. Purport: Regarding the mention of airplanes here, it is suggested by Srimad Vijayadvaja Tirtha that on this occasion the demigods from higher planetary systems also came in their airplanes to bestow their blessings on Dhruva Maharaj on his arrival at the capital city of his father, on the on his capital of his father. It also appears that all the domes of the city palaces as well as the pinnacles of the airplanes were decorated with ornamental work in gold and being reflected by the sunshine. They were all glittering. We can observe a specific distinction between Dhruva Maharaj's time and modern days. For the airplanes in those days were made of gold, whereas at present moment airplanes are made of base aluminum. This just gives a hint of the opulence of Dhruva Maharaj's days and the poverty of modern times. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Gyananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Ena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yutapatakamalam Sri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagna Lalita Sri Vishakan Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute तप्त कांचन गौरंगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. So च्यूतपल्लववाससृन् मुक्तधाम विलम्बिभिः बस्कृतं प्रतिद्वारम् उपां कुम्भैः सदीपकैः. Dhruva Maharaj was returning from the forest. He has meditated, uh, had meditated for 6 months in different levels of austerity, and then he was returning from the forest. He successfully had a darshan of Lord, and his grants were bestowed. He was internally feeling not satisfied or unsatisfied with the way he approached the Lord. But the fact is fact. He got what he was wanting. I mean, he asked for something and he received it, and he was returning back from the forest. Um, King Uttanapad got to know about, Dhruva Maharaja's father got to know about his return. So King Uttanapad, he prepared and he started traveling towards the forest. In the midway, they met Dhruv Maharaj and Uttanapad and Surichi, Mother Queen Surichi and Queen Suniti, and all the many citizens were there. So they met at the center of in the midway, and they all returned back. So um, it explains that King Uttanapad left the kingdom with his on his horses, like basically on the horse. But while returning back, he picked his sons, both Uttama and Dhruva Maharaj, and he himself were seated on the elephant, so she elephant, and they returned. So basically, it shows that they were returning with the grandeur, right? Sitting on the elephant means it shows the grandeur and the welcome how the father of Dhruva Maharaj is giving to him. So while they're coming back, this section of Srimad Bhagavatam explains the beauty of the city. This is not just storytelling or just vague information which is given in Srimad Bhagavatam. The details are enormous. You can see details in each and every section, right? So Srimad Bhagavatam walks us through the details. So that's what we're seeing in these verses. So in the description of the city of Uttanapad was given in the previous verse, which is Tatra Tatropa Shankla Sukalpatair Lashan Makaratoranehi Shavrin Kadali Sambehi Puga Potaischa Tad Vidaihi. So basically, the whole city was decorated with columns of banana trees containing bunches of fruits and flowers, and betel nut trees with leaves and branches were seen here and there. There were also many gates set up which were structured to give the appearance of shocks. So that is the appearance. The gates were decorated. If someone is coming to your home and if the home is not decorated, it's not cleaned, it's not um, you see the shoes spread out everywhere, you see the dust everywhere, you see the flies falling around everywhere. Is that I mean, if you were invited to someone's home, and if you go and see these things, is it a good thing to see? It shows how much of an intent the guest had, sorry, the host had for you, right? So now, this is a really vague example, but if we have to invite anyone, the invitation should be so good. Or basically, in this scenario where uh, Uttanapad, the king or the father of Dhruva Maharaj, he is elated with the presence, with the return of Dhruva Maharaj. It shows that the king is really elated. The citizens of the kingdom are really elated with the return of Dhruva Maharaj. Everyone was concerned. Mothers was concerned. Uttanapad was thinking he was dead. So Dhruva Maharaj was dead. So, but anyway, so this arrangement shows that they are eagerly waiting, and they are elated with the return of Dhruva Maharaj, right? So when it comes to the elation, the first thing is decoration of the deities, decoration of the temple, decoration of the place, right? We have Gaura Purnima coming in next few days. So we should decorate, we should have good intent. It shows that you are really involved, you're really encouraged or inspired to do the activities. So yeah, we have to decorate to invite anything or any function or any guest. So this is what these verses are showing. In the first verse, it shows that the city was decorated with columns of banana trees containing bunches of fruits and flowers. Right, banana trees are always auspicious. Trees represent Lakshmi Devi, opulence, abundance, right, prosperity. So those are the words that represent the banana trees. Similarly, the other trees are mango trees. So mango toranas. It says here Chuta Pallava Vasa Shran. The Shran means the streams of the leaves. Pallava means leaves, Chuta means mango. So mango leaf toranas have been decorated on the gateways of this kingdom. So that is auspiciousness. Mango leaves, banana leaves. These are all really good. And what it says, Muktadama Vilambihi. So the strings of pearls are being hanged, right? They see the strings of pearls hanging on the walls, and upaskritam pratidwaram. So every gate, every gate, what they see, they have the apakumbehi. So the kumbhas were set up. Setting up a kumbha is really auspicious. So we set up the kumbha for any yagna, any auspicious event, any puja we do. We set up the kumbha. So what does the kumbha represent? Kumbha represents, um, kumbha basically represents sorry. Basically, Kumbha topped with mango leaves and coconut is called Purna Kumbha, and represents completeness, prosperity, fertility, successful beginning. So that is the Kumbha, and Kumbha and other terms also represents the cosmic manifestation. So the water. Let's talk about what is Kumbha, right? The Kumbha is basically what a spouted pot. We fill that spotted pot with water, and so generally that is kumbha. But it sometimes, depending upon the purposes, we decorate, or we put five mango leaves in there, right? Decorated, circled through the mouth of the pot, and on the top of it we'll put coconut. So basically, this kumbha represents the cosmic manifestation. So everything in a bubble, right? And everything is a shell. This creation is a shell. Starts in the shell, and that shell has a water. That water, Garbhodaka ocean, right? So that water, or that primordial waters are represented in this kumbha. And this kumbha, basically we're saying that this is the beginning. This is the but it's an auspicious thing to put that kumbha. And kumbha we invoke, before we invoke, actually the uh, Vedic scriptures mentions that before we invoke, this is mandatory to have a kumbha, like mango leaves and coconut and everything, for invoking Vishnu into those waters. So before we perform any activity, we invoke Lord Vishnu into those kumbha, and for that we need to have a kalasha prepared with water, fragrant substances, mango leaves, coconut, and everything. So there are some references. I'll just quote here. Amradalaihi Kalashan Sambeshtya. Encircle the Kalasha with mango leaves. So this is from Padma Purana. And also there is another statement. It's similar statement. Purna Kumbham Jala Purnam Amra Patrai Shushobitam. The full pot filled with water, beautifully adorned with mango leaves. So that is this is also from Padma Purana. Basically, what they're saying is like the kumbha should be filled with water and decorated with mango leaves and topped with the coconut. So that is the kumbha. So what will happen if you do that? So that kumbha gives us auspiciousness. That kumbha. Basically, the water in the kumbha is a consciousness, and the pot itself is a creation. Different understandings, right? So what we're trying to say here is that water filled with kumbha, basically basically it shows, it represents completeness, prosperity, fertility, successful beginning. So that is the kumbha. So they're all, this verse basically explains the decorative items of the city. And it follows, a similar thing follows in the next verse also. Prakarai goparagaraihi shatakumbha parichadehi sarvatolamkritam srimad vimana shikara dyubihi. So prakarai is basically the walls. The city were always protected with the walls, right? Durga, that is called as Durga, Durg. So basically, Durg means cities are protected with the walls so that the enemies don't enter, right? So that is Prakara, and Gopura are the city gates. Okay, the city gates. So those walls will have gates to enter. Only certain people um, can enter through the gates. And Shatakumbha Parichadehi. Shatakumbha is Shata is basically means gold here. So Shata Kumbha means um, golden. I was researching like why it is called as Shata. Swarna is the right word, right? But Shata Kumbha is also represented as golden. So some texts mention that Shata Kumbha is gold because it shows the fulfillment. Yeah, Shatakumbha basically it's referred in multiple places in scriptures also. Shata has been referred to as gold. Basically, it represents multiple vessels, abundance of the wealth. So that is Shatakumbha. Abundance of wealth in generally means gold in those days. So it's always gold, which is Shatakumbha. Uh, so yeah, Shatakumbha golden plated ornaments. Vimana Shikara is another word which is used here. Vimana Shikara means shining towers. Tubi here, there are glittering. Okay. So in the capital city, there were many palaces, city gates, and surrounding walls, which were already very, very beautiful. And on this occasion, all of them were decorated with golden ornaments. The domes of the city palaces glittered, as did the domes of the beautiful airplanes which hovered over the city. So now, if we reflect on this verse, right, Prakara, fortified walls, Gopura, grand gateways, Agara are palaces or the houses. Srila Prabhupada translates into houses. Shatakumbha, gold plated ornaments, Vimana Shikara, shining towers. So, if we reflect this verse, we can see that if when a devotee so yeah, let's come to the devotee part later. But the city was protected, organized, decorated, and effulgent, right? So that's how the city was described here. And basically, Prakara, the fortified walls protect a city from invasion, right? Spiritual walls we should have. The reflection is when a devotee has spiritual walls. What are the spiritual walls? Spiritual walls in terms of discipline, in terms of daily sadhana, in terms of moral boundaries, regulated habits, then that yeah. So then that disciple or yeah, walls are not restrictions, they're protections. So the walls will look like they're protections. So these qualities of discipline, the qualities of sadhana, the qualities of moral boundaries, regulated habits will give us um, a protection in the bhakti, right? Example, Dhruva Maharaj, even though he's the son of a king, let's think he was offended by his father, or he felt offended by his father's behavior of not making him sit in the lap of his father, right? Dhruva Maharaj. Then he could have stayed back. He has been removed. He didn't do anything, no discipline. Then he was a normal, another child who was suffering from the misbehave or who is suffering from like some like he sorry. So basically if Dhruva Maharaj didn't take action on that part or control or put up walls against, like, if he didn't leave the kingdom, then he would have the normal child. But what he did was he took an action on that. He went out. He built walls. He built walls against his luxury. He built walls against his comfort zone. He came out of it and he started going out with that vengeance to get a kingdom better than his father. So that's what his motive, and he left the kingdom. And when Narada Muni told him you have to do sadhana or austerity or meditation upon the Lord, and he followed them very strictly. The first, like he meagerly ate. He didn't. He sometime after some time he stopped eating. Also, he started living on water, and after some time he started just breathing, and after that he stopped breathing also. So that shows his discipline to achieve something. His discipline, um, his austerity was so tremendous that it attracted Lord, and Lord came to see him. So that discipline is important. Same thing with Srila Prabhupada. If you see Srila Prabhupada, 16 years of age, it's such a nice, everyone desire to 65 years of age, right? He went 65 or sorry 69 at the age of 69 he was in Vrindavan, already settled in Damodar Radha Sri Radha Damodar temple. Every devotee or every Vaishnava's desire is to settle in Vrindavan at that age. But Srila Prabhupada had that he still remembered his guru's instruction that go and preach in the West. So that was not fulfilled. So he was disciplined. He was already there. He could have just stayed there chanting, and he was already doing all those things. So, but because he just came out of that comfort zone, came out of that uh, situation, and he took a chance, not a chance, but he was really working towards going to West and preach. So somehow he got into Krishna's mercy, Guru's mercy. He left. Once he left, he went through so much. It's not like everything was given in a platter. No, someone is waiting. All the devotees are waiting for Srila Prabhupada to come in the bridge. Sorry, come on the Jaladuta, and they're all ready. No, Srila Prabhupada came. He struggled day in and day out, talking to people day every day. Right. So then that discipline, that austerity. He came here. He said, "Oh." This is America. I can't. Everyone eats meat. There is no vegetarian food, and he didn't start eating non-veg or something. No, he had his discipline. He was chanting. He was preaching. He was singing. He was following all the regulative principles in America. So that's where the discipline comes part. So that's the prakara, or the walls, are these walls which we have to build in ourselves as a devotee to excel out as a to get the mercy of the Lord, to get the mercy of the Guru. We have to have walls. If not, we'll not grow. We'll be there only. We'll be um, mediocre devotee, just doing regular stuff and minimum things. So that's or maybe fall down from there also. So that kind of prakara we should have. And gopuras, gopura means the city gates. So the gates basically means there is a reflection. We can reflect gates as the uh, gateways of self-control or the sense control, right? Our gateways, what are those gateways for us? um, we have the gateways. We have eyes, ears, tongue, nose, and skin. If the gates are open without discrimination, then what happens? We'll have gossip enters, envy enters, lust enters, and fear enters. Sense control is uh, goes nowhere, right? So that the self control has to be there, not the suppression but the protection. For example, Amrish Maharaj. So what he did, he didn't suppress his gateways or the senses. He engaged those senses in a beautiful way. He engaged his eyes to see the deity, tongue to chant, ears to hear kirtan, hands to clean the temple, legs to walk to the temple. So that's how we have to engage as a devotee. We have to engage our senses in a right direction. If there is no direction, right direction, then there is everything. All of the things will enter. So that's why the gateways are important. The gates are important, and so like that. If we oh, sorry when Ambarisha Maharaj controlled his senses like that. When Durvasa Muni came to punish him, Chakra protected him. So that's what we achieve, right? So that's why the self-control or the gates are required for a devotee. That's why Srila Prabhupada also has given us four regulative principles, right? No intoxication, no gambling, no illicit sex, no meat eating. These are the simple basic stuff Srila Prabhupada asked. These minimum things we should have to progress in bhakti, to progress in devotion. So Shatakumbha here represents gold. Gold means sattva, purity, and we should, as a reflection, we should also maintain that purity, right? Gold doesn't rust. Gold represents purity of motive, refined intelligence, clarity. So when consciousness is purified, even ordinary life shines, right? Devotion makes character golden. For example, Prahlad Maharaj. So Prahlad Maharaj is a prince. Prince has all the facilities. He can do anything, and especially is the son of the greatest demon Hiranyakashipu, right? He proclaimed himself to be the god. In that situation also, if Prahlad wanted, he could have gotten anything in this universe, not in the world, in the universe, anything he could have gotten, but he didn't do it. He was pure in his he's a gold, he's a purity, he followed sattva. So he his he remained peaceful all the time. He was tortured, um, he was put into so much of agony, but still Prahlad Maharaj um, didn't that faith in Prahlad Maharaj didn't shake. So that's what is a purity. It means we should have that conviction that this is the only path. I don't have any other option. When we think of other options, backup plans other than devotion, that's where the failure starts, right? That's where the problem starts. So Prahlad Maharaj was convicted. I mean, he was convinced that devotion or his faith is so strong that devotion is the only way and Krishna is my only protector. Then everything falls into place. Then he himself, then the Lord himself comes to protect you. So that's the faith or the purity we should carry. And the Vimana Shikara, Dyubihi means shining. So Vimana Shikara, these Vimanas or the airplanes are also on the Shikaras, on the domes. Airplanes and the domes were shining, the golden plated domes and airplanes. So they were shining. So we should also shine. We should also have um, towers rise upward. They represent high aspiration and spiritual vision, focus on transcendence, right? So if you go somewhere, people should feel that they should associate with you. They should not feel that they should run away from you, right? How would someone feel to stay or associate with you? It comes because we have to maintain the gratitude. We have to maintain our sadhana strictly and humility. So that's when it all comes up. So basically, the conclusion is that Dhruva began with hurt and ambition. Then he was through devotion, his heart became a divine city, and he came back to the kingdom. The kingdom was decorated with multiple things, auspicious things. So that explanation goes on for another couple of verses, and we'll stop here. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Thank you, Harikishapu. We'd like to wish everybody a safe and Krishna conscious day and weekend ahead. A weekend of a lot of festivities. Today is Ekadasi, minimally fasting from grains and beans and increasing our Krishna consciousness. The Parna time, breaking fast time for tomorrow is 6:32 to 10:15 a.m. 6:32 to 10:15 a.m. There'll be Ekadasi Kirtan in the evening from 7 to 9 p.m. at the temple. We'd like to offer our prayers to the Supreme Lord, and we'll direct these prayers to His Holiness Badrinath Maharaj, who left his body in Vrindavan Dham yesterday. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Shina Singho, Jena Singho, Jai Jena Singho, Praladesha Jaya Padam, Kingdom. उग्रवीरमहाविष्णुवरं सर्वतोमुखं नरसिंहं भीषणं भद्रं नित्यं नमाम्यहं। नरसिंह भगवान की जय, प्रहलाद महाराज की जय। I would like to offer our humble obeisances to all the assembled Vaishnavas. Vanchakalpatarubhascha kripa sindhu vacha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha। वैष्णविंद की जय। राज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। गौर प्रेमानंदे।
हरि हरि बोल।
हरि हरि बोल।
Prabhuji, thank you everyone. Shubha Ekadashi to everyone. Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna.